Welcome to Eggheads, the show where a team of 5 quiz challengers pit their wits against possibly the greatest quiz team in Britain. They are the Eggheads. Now, how sharp are you today, Eggs?
Ooh, like
Razor
a knife
sharp.
blade.
OK. Now, if you'd like to work on a question from the Eggheads while you watch at home, Barry, what have you got?
I've got a great one today. Most people are aware of the riddle of the Sphinx, which goes, what goes on 4 legs in the morning, 2 legs in the afternoon, and 3 legs in the evening? And the answer is, of course, a man, who as a baby crawls and as an old man uses a stick. But what most people are not aware of is that the Sphinx had a second riddle. And the second riddle is this. There are 2 sisters. One gives birth to the other, who in turn gives birth to the first. What are they?
Wow. I can't even think of any possible answer. That's such a good riddle, Barry. Well done. We'll find out the answer at the end of the show, shall we? Now, challenging the might of our quiz Goliaths today are Dibble Trouble from Angus. This team are all members of the Carnoustie Theatre Club and perform at the town's Dibble Tree Theatre. Let's meet them.
Hi, I'm Peter, and I'm a sales coach.
Hi, I'm John, and I'm account manager.
Hello, I'm Grant, and I'm a retired accountant.
Hi, I'm Kath, and I'm a retired teacher.
Hello, I'm David, and I'm a financial controller.
So, Peter and team, hello.
Hello.
Hello. Great to see you here. And theatre brings you together. How wonderful.
Yes.
So
we've
tell
been
us
doing it for a
about it.
while. Yeah, Carnoustie Theatre Club's been around since about 1969. The town has a population of about 12,000, but we have well over 100 members, and we bring the members through from about 8 years old right the way through.
Oh, terrific. And perform at the Dibble Theatre?
Yeah, we do 2 or 3 plays a year. It's a 48-seater theatre that's ours, so we do that there, and then we go up to the high school where we do a pantomime once a year for 300 a night for a week.
Fantastic. And do you find your 48 seats are sold out most times?
Yeah.
How brilliant. What kind of stuff do you do?
Many things. We've done One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, we've done Cutting a Rug, we've done Pinter plays, we've done many different things. So.
Right, and are we all actors here, or have we got technicians?
Yeah.
Or
Yes, pretty much actors.
all actors. We've had some difficult dust-ups with actors, haven't we? We wish you well, challengers. Every day there is £1,000 worth of cash up for grabs. If the challengers fail to win, that prize money rolls over to the next show. Now, Dibble Trouble, the Eggheads are on a roll. They've won the last 6 games, so there's £7,000 if you win today. It's been well worth coming. Shall we start?
Yes.
Get down to it. The first head-to-head battle is on film and TV. Couldn't be better. So one of you, please, against either Lisa, Steve, Barry, Kevin, or the great Judith.
Film and TV?
You want me to take?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, you
Will
take it.
So I'm going to take it.
OK, Peter, taking film and TV. Against which egghead? Who's looking like an extra?
We'll go for Barry.
Barry is.
OK, taking on Barry.
OK, Peter from Dibble Trouble, taking on Barry, known as the Brain. To ensure there's no conferring, please take your positions in our legendary question room. So, film and TV, Peter, against Barry. Would you like to go first or second?
I'd like to go first, please, Jeremy.
Here's your question. Which of these films of the 1960s starred Dustin Hoffman and Anne Bancroft? Dr. Zhivago, The Graduate, or Psycho?
Definitely wasn't Dr. Zhivago, and it wasn't The Psycho. It is The Graduate.
It is The Graduate. Well done. OK, Barry. Which superhero was played by Dean Cain in a 1990s US TV series? Dean Cain, Barry. Batman, Spider-Man, or Superman?
I think this was the early years of Superman in Smallville.
You're right. Superman is correct. Did you not think so, Lisa?
It's right answer, wrong series. It was. It's like The New Adventures of Superman was Dean Cain, and then Smallville was later, and a fella called Tom Welling played.
Oh, OK, right. So, yeah, but you're right, Barry. Sort of.
Sort of.
One each. Peter, what is the name of the character played by Anthony Edwards in the 1986 film Top Gun? Goose, Iceman, or Viper?
Well, Viper was the instructor. Iceman ended up being his wingman, but it was Goose.
Goose is right. Am I thinking of the guy from ER? Is that who I've got in my mind? Yeah. Goose is the right answer. Barry, to catch up. Who plays the mother of Winona Ryder's character in the 1990 film Mermaids? Cher, Bette Midler, or Barbara Streisand?
I really enjoyed this film, and I think Winona Ryder's mother was Cher.
Cher is the right answer. Your question, Peter, who became the permanent announcer on the TV quiz show University Challenge in 2001? Peter Dixon, Roger Tilling, or Marcus Bentley?
Sorry, 2001, did you say, Jeremy? Yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting question, isn't it? Who became the permanent announcer on the TV quiz show University Challenge in 2001?
I'm veering towards Marcus Bentley, but not for any real reason. Yeah, I've got no other inkling, so I'm just going to have to go with Marcus Bentley.
Now, I know it's not Peter Dixon. He's a lovely fellow, and he does X Factor, and he has the most amazing booming voice. Marcus Bentley, Eggheads, who's that?
Big Brother.
Big Brother.
Okay.
So it's Roger
Roger
Tilling,
Okay.
Peter. Barry, you can take the round with this. In the 2017 film Despicable Me 3, what is the name of Gru's long-lost twin brother? Is it Stu, Drew, or Blue?
Well, I've watched and enjoyed Despicable Me and Despicable Me 2, but I've not got around to seeing Despicable Me 3. So I'm all at sea on here. Gru and Drew sound good, so I'll go for Drew.
Gru and Drew. Drew is your guess. What do you think, challengers?
I think he's right.
Ah, you're right, Barry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, you've done it. You've done Drew. It is, and Drew has drawn you into the final round. And sorry, Peter, beaten by our Egghead, but it's early days. They've lost their skipper. Can the challengers recover? Come back to us, gentlemen. We'll find out. Okay, Dibble Trouble have lost a brain from the final round. The Eggheads have lost none so far, but the play can still go on, can't it? Without that one actor.
Yep.
Who do we want now on science? Science is the round. Okay, Kath. Okay, right. Against which Egghead? Can be anyone but Barry.
Judith.
Right.
See that coming.
Very decisive. So Kath from Dibble Trouble versus Judith from the Eggheads on Science. And to ensure there's no conferring, please take your positions. Kath, I noticed you were the natural choice for science.
Yes.
Because?
I've taught some science in the past, not a lot.
Were you a science teacher?
No, not as such, no.
Oh, okay, but you taught a bit of science in primary school or comprehends? Right, okay. And how was that? What sort of things did you enjoy teaching?
Experiments, when we used to be allowed to do stuff in the olden days.
Oh, yes. And blowing up the lab was always fun.
Always fun. I remember we did set fire to our chemistry teacher when I was at school. That was
Were you
fun.
at school with Barry? Because he did something like that as well. That poor man. Now, science, Kath. Would you like to go first or second against our Judith?
First, please.
All right, Kath, here we go. Good luck to you and the team. How many edges does a cube have? 8, 12, or 16?
Well, there's 4 round the top, and there's 4 round the sides, and there's 4 at the bottom, so it's 12, I think.
12 is quite right. Okay, Judith, your question. Which of these is a condition of the eye? Is it sciatica, halitosis, or glaucoma?
Oh, I've got it. It's glaucoma.
Didn't know you had it.
Well, I'm staving it off with drops. I mean, they discovered it in time.
It's pressure in the eyeball, is it?
It's pressure in the optic nerve or something.
Okay.
But you can also have a little operation, let the pressure out. But it really is terribly important to deal with it.
Thank you, and glaucoma is right. When you said I've got it, I didn't know which option you were going to choose. Okay, Kath. Gallinula chloropus is the scientific name for which bird that has a distinctive red bill with a yellow tip? Is it moorhen, gadwall, or pochard?
No idea. I've only ever heard of one of them, and I think it's got a red bill, but I'm not sure. So it's a pure guess. I'll guess moorhen.
Moorhen's right, actually, yeah. Well done, Kath, playing well. Judith, which of these refers to the waste product formed on molten metal during smelting? Is it drivel, dross, or drudge?
It's not drivel. I think it's dross.
It is dross. You're right. Kath, your question, third question. All right so far. The Jurassic period is a subdivision of which era? Paleozoic, Mesozoic, or Cenozoic?
Again, I don't really know, and I should know what order they all come in, but I don't. And so again, it will have to be a guess, just based on paleontologists, which seem to do fossils, and Jurassic seems to be in that. I'm guessing Paleozoic.
Paleozoic is your answer, Barry. Which is it?
It's Mesozoic, I'm afraid.
Mesozoic.
Oh,
Now, Barry loves his, I never remember the word,
Mnemonics.
mnemonics, and I tried to learn one of your, and it was something about dodgy camels sit down easily, why don't you oil their knees? But now, isn't that it?
That is a great mashup of that one.
Well, help us understand it.
Camels often sit down carefully, perhaps their joints creak.
Right, that would explain why I can't remember any of the eras in question, but what does it stand for, Barry?
Well, it's all the geological orders in order, periods in order. Camels often sit down, Cambrian, Ordovician, Silurian, Devonian.
And the others.
And then all the others.
Yeah, but this wouldn't help with that question necessarily.
No, you'd have to know that the Jurassic, Triassic and Cretaceous were in the Mesozoic.
Right, okay. Sorry, Kath, we're getting distracted here. I'm afraid it's Mesozoic. So Judith has a chance to take the round on science. The international carat is standardized as what fraction of a gram? Fifth, quarter, or third?
Well, as the thing, I mean, gold, for instance, is very valuable, I would have thought the smallest one would probably be it. So I'm going to say fifth.
Fifth is the right answer, Judith. 3 out of 3 on science. Sorry, Kath, knocked out by our egghead. She's good, isn't she? Mm-hmm. Come back to us, please, both of you, and we'll see what round 3 brings. As it stands, Dibble Trouble have lost 2 brains, so the trouble has dibbled since we last spoke. The Eggheads have lost none, but they're looking to me a little bit shaky today. The next subject is sport. Who would like this?
Bye, John.
How about me, Jeremy?
Okay, John, our account manager, against which Egghead? And it can be Lisa, Steve, or Kevin.
Lisa, please, Jeremy.
Brilliant. John from Dibble Trouble versus Lisa in all kinds of trouble. Well, no, not yet. You like sport.
I like it. That doesn't mean I'm much cop at it.
To ensure there's no conferring, please go to the question room. John, I gather you and your wife are practical jokers?
Yes, we are.
And what's the worst one she's ever done on you?
Well, water comes into it a lot. I'd come home from work and Frances was out sunbathing. Beautiful day. Thought, let's get a bit of mischief going. So I'd gone upstairs, taken a basin of water, opened the window and chucked it over her. And it was quiet for about 15, 20 minutes. I thought, hang on a second, what's happening here? She's planning something. So I gently creeped up the stairs only to discover that water poured all over my head. Never mind the carpet, never mind anything else. She'd got her revenge, so...
This sounds like one of the Pink Panther films or something.
Well, it was. It
Kato
really was.
jumps out the cupboard.
Exactly. It was caught fully unawares.
Okay, well, I hope Lisa doesn't catch you unawares here. You've not got any buckets of water on you, Lisa?
Not at the moment.
Okay. I can hear a tap running somewhere. John, do you want to go first or second on sport?
I'd like to go first, Jeremy.
Here we go, good luck. Arsene Wenger became manager of Arsenal Football Club in which decade? 1980s, 1990s, or 2000s?
I think that was the late 1980s. I seem to recall winning championship at Liverpool or something, so I'm going for the 1980s, Jeremy.
Challenges, do we know?
1990s.
1990s. So mid-90s, John, sorry. Okay. Lisa, your question. What term is used to refer to the playing area in basketball? Pitch, court, or field?
Basketball court.
Basketball court is right. John, your question to catch up. The salchow is a jump in which sport? It's spelled S-A-L-C-H-O-W. Figure skating, gymnastics, or high jump?
I think it might be rather dangerous to try it in gymnastics and high jump because you'll be wearing ice skates, so I'm going for figure skating.
You're quite right. Figure skating is right. Do you know the salchow?
I've done it many times.
Named after somebody. Kevin, do you know about this?
Swedish skater.
A Swedish skater?
I think Swedish.
Brilliant. So, Lisa, level, your question. The Count is the nickname of which darts player who was BDO World Champion in 2000 and 2009? Andy Fordham, Ted Hankey, or John Lowe?
Yeah, Andy Fordham's a Viking, and John Lowe's nickname escapes me, but yeah, he puts on a cloak and comes out and throws rubber bats about. It's Ted Hankey.
Ted Hankey's quite right. John, let's just think John Lowe.
Like
Eggheads.
Great Stoneface.
Stoneface.
Yeah.
I love darts nicknames.
Charming, yeah.
Any favourites, Eggs? Darts nicknames?
Well, favourite. I mean, some of them are pretty. They're sort of so bad they're good in a way.
Yeah.
So Bob Anderson was, because he came from Swindon, Wiltshire area, is the the limestone cowboy and that's the sort of thing. John Part, the worst one, I think, to my mind, John Part, the Canadian, because of the Canadian connection, was called Darth Maple. I mean,
Darth Maple. and Bob Anderson, was he the one who was called Clint Plywood?
yes, that's right. He was
Yeah.
as well. Yes,
Clint
that's right.
Plywood.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he used to favour the Western
That's right,
gear
yeah.
in the team.
Okay, so you need to get this one right here, John, or you will be out. Who did Virginia Wade defeat in the 1977 Wimbledon ladies semi-final? Martina Navratilova, Sue Barker, or Chris Evert?
Not sure on this one, Jeremy. I knew the final. I was hoping that's what you were going to say. I'm going to go, I don't get it to be an all-British one. I'm going to go for Chris Evert.
Chris Evert. Now, who did she defeat in the final? Do you remember that?
Betty Stover.
Yeah. Chris Evert's right. Well done, John. Good answer. 2 out of 3. Is it enough to go to sudden death? Lisa can take it with this question. At the 1984 Olympics, Lisa, who won the controversial 3,000-meter race when Mary Decker tripped over Zola Buds? Is it Gabriela Dorio, Doina Melinta, or Marichika Puika?
Yeah, I could sit here all day and not get a long way on any of these. I've got a vague feeling for Duina Melinta, so we'll go with that.
Doina Melinta. I'm wondering if these were all runners in that race. Were they eggs or all around at the time?
I'm trying to think if Dorio was in it. I mean, the correct answer is Puika.
Marichika Puika is the answer, Lisa. We go to sudden death because after 3 questions, the scores are level, John. Gets a bit harder, I don't give you alternatives. Okay, here we go. In the 2018 London Marathon, which British athlete came 3rd in the men's elite race?
I'm a big marathon watcher. Trying to think anybody there. I don't have a name as such. I'm thinking the chap Limoncello. Don't know his first name, unfortunately.
I would normally ask for that, but it's wrong. It's Mo Farah. Came 3rd in the men's elite. So, Lisa, for the round. In April 2018, which football team suffered a 2nd successive relegation, putting them in League One for the 2018-2019 season?
Oh no, come on, Lisa. I'm going to kick myself till my foot falls off when you say the answer. I don't know. I'll say Bolton Wanderers just for the publicity for Bolton Wanderers. But
Do you know,
it's not.
John?
I was going to go with Bolton Wanderers. I know they did a horrific championship.
Eggheads? Sunderland.
Was it Sunderland? Oh God, was it really? Poor old
Sunderland.
Sunderland. Why don't I just say Sunderland?
Well, they might appreciate the fact you didn't know the answer.
Oh dear.
Okay, so you're still in it, sudden death. John, your question. Which sport is played by the Toronto Wolfpack?
I would suggest the play could either be ice hockey or baseball. I'm going for ice hockey.
No, it's actually rugby league. They became the first North American team to play in the Rugby Football League system in 2017. Lisa, your question to take the round, sudden death. Who won his 3rd World Snooker title in May 2018?
Mark Williams.
Mark Williams is right, you're in the final round. Sorry, John. With Mark Williams, Lisa's booked her seat in the final. John, beaten by our egghead and knocked out. Return to us, and we will see what happens in the last round before the final. Right, Dibble Trouble have lost 3 brains from the final round. Peter, if this was a play being put on at the Carnoustie Theatre Club and you lost 3, would you continue?
We've done it before, yeah.
Okay, so you wouldn't be calling the doctor out of the audience?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
So the Eggheads have lost none. This is a good moment to turn on the power, and it's politics.
Oh, perfect.
Perfect, good. So Grant or David?
It's going to David.
Yeah.
David, okay, financial controller, against either Steve or Kevin.
Both good. Going to play against Stephen.
Very good. So David from Dibble Trouble playing Steve from the Eggheads. And just to ensure there's no conferring for the last time, take your positions. David, on politics, would you like to go first or second?
Yeah, I'll go first.
Here's your question. US President Gerald Ford was a member of which political party? Republican, New Deal, or Democratic?
Right, so we're talking again around about the Nixon era. Gerald Ford. I actually don't know much about New Deal. Democratic, no, he wasn't. He was a Republican.
Yeah, brilliant. He really was, yeah. He took over from Nixon after Watergate.
Yeah.
Okay, Steve, your question. Melania Trump, who became the First Lady of the United States in 2017, was born in which year? 1960, 70, or 80?
I honestly don't know, but I would have thought she's probably around my sort of age. So I'll try 1970, Jeremy.
1970 is correct. Over to you, David. From 1997 to 2017, the Labour politician Alan Johnson was the MP for the constituency Hull West and what? Hull West and Hessel, Darwin, or Royton?
Right. I remember Alan Johnson as a politician. This is really going to be a guess. I'm going to say it's Royton.
Hull West and Royton. Kath knows, do you?
Hessel.
Hessel is the answer. Royton is definitely in a constituency name somewhere.
I can't idea Royton somewhere near Oldham, but I may.
Okay, I'll think about that. Steve, to take the lead. In April 2018, a statue of which suffragist was unveiled in Parliament Square, the first statue of a woman to be erected there? Was it Emily Davison, Millicent Fawcett, or Annie Kenny?
That's Millicent Fawcett, Jeremy.
It is, not the obvious one on the left. Millicent Fawcett is quite right. So you must get this right to stay in, David. Here's your question. In the Cabinet Room at 10 Downing Street, a portrait by Jean-Baptiste Van Loo of which Prime Minister hangs over the fireplace? Duke of Wellington, Robert Walpole, or Winston Churchill?
Yeah, three great leaders. It could be any of them. They're so significant. Want to say Winston Churchill. I'm thinking hang over the fireplace, significant position. Oh, Jean-Baptiste. I'm going to say Winston Churchill.
Peter, what do you think?
Walpole,
It is Walpole, yeah. How do you know that?
first Prime Minister.
First Prime Minister Robert Walpole.
Ah.
Kevin, Walpole's dates?
Well, he was Prime Minister for a long time, 1721 to 42.
And he was the first, was
Yes, yeah. Well, the first among equals.
he? Right. And birth year, do you know?
But Walpole, 1676, I think.
Died when?
1745.
Okay. Impressive, isn't it? Robert Walpole is the answer, David. Sorry, no way back for you in this round. Steve is in the final as well. Tricky times for our challengers, but they can still do it. They'll play next for £7,000. We had a couple of questions there. Royton, Oldham Western Royton is the constituency. So, Kevin, you're right to say there's an Oldham association. It was Michael Meachers. He was the famous Labour MP for it. And then I was asking about Robert Walpole, the first, acknowledged to be the first Prime Minister, his date. Kevin, 1721 to 1742 in office,
Yes.
You said, bang on. Born 1676, bang on. Died 1745, bang on with that as well.
Oh, I wasn't certain on that one.
No, but you were. You were spot on, Kevin. So this is what we've been playing towards. It's time for our final round, which, as always, is general knowledge. But I'm afraid those of you who lost your head-to-heads aren't allowed to take part in this round. So Peter, John, Kath, and David from Dibble Trouble, would you please leave the studio? Well, good luck, Grant. You are playing to win Dibble Trouble's £7,000. Good jackpot today. Here you all are, Eggheads, playing very strongly. Lisa, Steve, Barry, Kevin, and Judith playing now to just shore up the Eggheads' reputation, defend it. As usual, I will ask each team 3 questions in turn. They're all general knowledge. Usually I say you can confer, but obviously it's tricky. You're on your own. Dibble Trouble, the question is, can your one brain defeat these 5? We've seen it happen before. We know it can happen today. Grant, do you want to go first or second?
I think I'd like to go second, please.
So, your question first, Eggheads. Which historical figure was executed on February the 12th, 1554? Lady Jane Grey, Oliver Cromwell, or William Wallace?
Lady Jane Grey.
Lady Jane.
1554.
1554.
Okay, it's Lady Jane Grey. Then, okay. That is Lady Jane Grey.
Lady Jane Grey is correct. Just context there. After Henry VIII,
The 9-day queen.
Well, after Edward VI.
after Edward VI.
Yes, she was there just for a few days, and then Mary I asserted her rights and took over, and obviously Jane Grey was a rival who needed to be gotten out of the way.
And who did the famous painting?
What of the executioner ladies?
Yeah.
Great. Delaroche, Paul Delaroche.
Delaroche. Okay, over to you. Good luck, Ron.
Thank you.
Brian and Michael had a UK #1 single with Matchstalk Men and Matchstalk Cats and Dogs in which year? 1968, 1973, or 1978?
Well, that was the one about Larry. I think 68's too early. I guess 1973.
It's later, actually.
78.
It's 78, yeah. You're right to rule out 68. It was strangely right in the middle of punk rock. 1978. Okay, Eggheads, you're second. Who wrote the best-selling book Eat, Pray, Love, on which a 2010 film starring Julia Roberts was based? Tracy Chevalier, Catherine Dunn, or Elizabeth Gilbert?
Elizabeth
Elizabeth
Gilbert.
Gilbert, isn't it? Elizabeth Gilbert. That is Elizabeth Gilbert.
Elizabeth Gilbert is correct. So they've got two. You must get this one right. Grant, to stay in. What is the name of the maternity wing at St Mary's Hospital in London, where the Duchess of Cambridge gave birth to her children? So the maternity wing at St Mary's. Is it Lister, Lindo, or Lytton?
I believe it's the Lister wing.
Now, Lister is familiar. What is the Lister? Or is it a Lister Hospital, isn't there?
Lister Hospital,
Where is that?
Upper Sloane Street.
So that's in
Chelsea
central
Bridge
London.
Road.
That's
It
Lindo.
is the Lindo
Yep,
wing.
yep.
I'm sorry, no way back. With Grant still not scoring, we have to say congratulations, Eggheads, you have won. Strangely, I think you knew both answers, actually.
Yeah, the Lindo
78
wing.
and Lindo.
Yeah, Lindo,
Yeah.
I did know it, but
And Lister has a bit of a medical connection with a different hospital, or it is a different hospital.
It isn't, yes.
Tricky, but commiserations, Dibble Trouble.
Nah.
Bad luck, team. The Eggheads have done what comes naturally. This winning streak gets more and more impressive. You're winning more and more convincingly with every game, Eggheads. You've not even lost a round today. What's going on? So the challengers don't get the £7,000 and we roll that money over and it makes our next show even more exciting and we wonder who will beat you. Barry, you had a question.
I did indeed. Now, most people know the riddle of the Sphinx, which goes, what goes on 4 legs in the morning, 2 legs in the afternoon and 3 legs in the evening, to which the answer is a man. But what most people are unaware of, that some sources say there was a second riddle of the Sphinx. And that riddle is this. There are 2 sisters. One gives birth to the other, who then in turn gives birth to the first. What are they?
No, I was thinking the sisters can't be human beings, so they could be something else like planets, but I don't know.
Well, you're almost on the right score. The 2 sisters, of course, are day and night.
I see. Good one, Barry. Thank you very much indeed. Always deep into your culture. Join us next time to see if a new team of challengers have the brains to defeat the Eggheads. There'll be £8,000 to play for. Till then, goodbye.